Hey YouTube, this is San Diego DIY, my first video, and I'm doing this for the YouTube community because I've gotten a lot of help over the years on videos and always wanted to put something out there. So if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, please like and subscribe to this channel. I'll be coming out with videos pretty regularly now. And I have my first video is today. It's a LED light bar installation on a BMW X5. The type of light bar I got was this Autosavers 88. Try to focus it a little bit, but it's an installation guide, and I'll talk about what's good and bad about it. And yeah, so let's take a look on the outside. I have the car running, and I have this light bar set up so that when you hit the switch for the fog lights, fog light indicator comes on the X5 E53, and the LED light bar turns on. So that's pretty cool. And how I did that was I first mounted this light bar because it's a 52-inch light bar. It's a little long for this car. So what I did was I drilled holes into this side railing. You see there's a nut or a screw there. So I drilled a hole into the side rail, got a metal bracket from Home Depot. I think it was $5 for 2 of them, and there's already pre-drilled holes into those, and I think it's about 6 inches long. So I then used machine screws self-tapping screws to screw this down, and it's super sturdy. I used the zip ties there to make it look a little janky, but there's an extra hole that was already drilled into this mounting plate, so I figured I can zip tie them in case at any point the bolts get loose, but I don't expect that to happen. Anyway, if we go to the other side, I wanted to wire it from the driver's side, but I couldn't, and that's one thing I didn't like about this Autosavers deal, was because this power strip, the wiring harness, is mounted like that. So if I flipped it to the other side, the bracket would interfere with that wire. So I was kind of limited on doing that, so I had to do it from the passenger side. I fed the wire through the gasket on the top and down through here underneath this gasket here, and I just used my fingers and pulled it through. That black wire there, that's it. Comes around above the engine. That's where I mounted the relay. I think it was an 8mm nut, and I mounted the relay to that for grounding. So how do you do it for the LED to turn on when you hit your fog lights? In order to do that, what you have to do is wire it to the fog light. So you go to the front of the car with it hood up. That's your fog light there. There's a connector that's down behind that. It's kind of hard to reach hand into it. You can't see it. You kind of have to, you can barely see it. You need a flashlight to get down in there. But you unplug the connector with your car off, and use a wire tap. It's a little plastic tool kind of pinches the two wires together in the slot, cuts through the insulation and bridges the electrical signal. And it's a 12 volts, so this wiring harness came with a switch that you push to turn it on and off, but I didn't want to feed it through the firewall through there and then mount it on the dash, because I wanted to use the OEM switch that was in there. So I use a wire tap, and this wire here connects to the fog light, sends 12 volts to the relay, and there's a white wire there. It's in the back of the relay, and for that it sends a 12 volt signal when you turn the fog lights on, and switches the relay to get to the power, so it powers on. So there's the fuse. I tucked it in behind. This red wire is the positive for the LED light bar, so I mounted it behind that nut. I took that nut off. I don't remember what that was. I think it was maybe 14 millimeters or 13 or something like that. Someone else would know better, but if you have a millimeter socket set, you can get that off. I just used a grounding wire. I grounded it to here, so that's the positive to get to the top of this cap. Grounded it that way, and it works great. I know that looks a little loose and saggy, but it actually is pretty tight on there, and I'm pretty happy with it. It doesn't look too messy. You guys can give me some feedback if you think it looks clean or not, but I think it looks pretty clean. I have the switch wire still in here because I may want to use it one day. So this black wire here is for the switch, and I fed it up the side. I actually hit it down there, but you could run it up to the top and have an external switch at the top there. So anyway, that's how you install the LED light bar on the X5. You can mount it like that. It's a 52-inch light bar, so it's a little longer for this car, but it worked out really well. Self-tapping screws in that bracket worked out just fine. And I'm going to be coming out with some other videos, spark plugs and coils replacement, how to wire your X5 for a rear view camera with a Boss Audio head unit, double DIN. That one was a tricky one because I was getting the flickering effect, and when connecting to the reverse lights, which are pulsed on this 2004 E53. So I'll show you how to use two relays that I got off another X5 to do that. And I'll come up with some other videos as well. So thanks guys. Like and subscribe please, and I will provide you with some additional videos. Thanks a lot. Bye.